Long ago, in the beautiful kingdom of Hyrule, surrounded by mountains and forests, legend tells of an optimistic and optimistic golden power that resided in the hidden land. Many people aggressively sought to enter the hidden golden land, but no one ever returned. One day, evil power began to flow from the golden land. So the king commanded 7 wise men to seal the gate to the land of the golden power. That seal should have remained for all time. But when the events were obscured by the mists of time and became legend, perhaps a legend of Zelda, if you will, a mysterious wizard known as Akadam came to Hyrule to release the seal. He eliminated the good king of Hyrule. Yeah, he's dead. You can see that, like, he's a skull now.
Ow, 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 stop poking me. Ow, ow.
Through evil magic, he began to make descendants of the 7 wise men vanish, one after another. Hey, look, I've attached a string to this person. And the time of destiny for Princess Zelda is drawing near. But luckily, we'll be able to save her in the nick of time. Hello, everyone! Welcome back! We are finally back to continue on with the Legend of Zelda Marathon, aka Zeldathon. And pretty much, yes, we are finally here to tackle the 3rd game in the Legend of Zelda series and everything. Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. My name is Zecoa the Diesel, and as always, I'm here with my good friend
Bonnie, also known as T-Bot7. Hey, folks!
Yes, we are back. So pretty much, alright, so pretty much, because ESM is still, like, very busy and everything with work, and pretty much, to be fair, like, some of us are actually, like, getting busy as of late as well, too. We decided that, yeah, you guys have waited long enough to, like, you guys waited long enough for us to, like, continue on where we last left off in the Legend of Zelda Marathon, which was after me and Bonnie have pretty much completed Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link for the NES. So after doing a couple of practices for this game, Link to the Past, as you can see right here, not under the Sakura name, and right here under the Link name and everything, we are finally going to go ahead and pretty much play Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. The only Zelda game released for the Super Nintendo, unless you want to count, like, the satellite, unless you want to count the Satellite View, like, Legend of Zelda game that came with, like, you know, the Satellite View cartridges and such, the BS Zelda and all that. But in terms of, like, you know, official releases and everything, like, yes, this was the only Zelda game released for the Super Nintendo and everything. And pretty much, if you guys have seen my blind Let's Play and everything on it, I'm actually very excited to get back to this game and everything, and pretty much replay it and everything, see how much better I've gotten over the game when compared to my blind LP, and even see, like, does this game still hold up, even after, like, it's been, I think it's been almost, like, 4 years and such since I've played this game on the gaming channel and everything. And, as a special treat, Bonnie here has never played or even seen that much of A Link to the Past and everything. So pretty much it's going to be all brand new for him as we go along with this gameplay and such.
Not at all. This is like this is the first in the series where I basically am gonna go completely blind, except a few sections here and there.
Yes. So pretty much because of that, pretty much like yeah, for every new upgrades or like new things that are linked to the past, it's going to be introduced and everything. I'm very excited to see like. What Barney is going to think on, like, both the gameplay as well as the upgraded story that, like, Link to the Past has offered us and everything, because, yeah, pretty much the beginning really did set up, like, the plot and everything as to what can we expect from Link to the Past, at least, like, up to this point and everything. So, alright, so the goal for this first session of Link to the Past and everything, it's basically gonna be me completing at least 3 dungeons in this session and everything, and getting 2 out of the 3 pendants and everything before we grab a very important item in the next session. What item will that be? Well, you'll just have to wait and see till we get that item in the next session. But before we do that, we are gonna have to make up a new name for this gameplay and everything. So, last time in Zelda 2, we actually resurrected one president back from the dead and everything to basically help us take down a certain organization and everything. If you guys have not seen Mon and Bonnie's replay on Zelda 2, make sure you go watch it when you have the time. But pretty much to continue on a little bit with the trend, we're gonna go ahead and bring back another president back from the dead, and pretty much for a game as large as this, and for a game to where basically we're gonna go on a very big adventure, there's one president I think will be best suited for the job. If you know, you know. So anyway, TR. So
AKA, AKA, well, you can say the name.
Alright, AKA Theodore Roosevelt. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, why am I wearing these ridiculous clothes? What's going on here? Don't worry, TR, we'll explain everything to you, good sir. But for now, let's go ahead and start the game. Here we go. Okay, Barney, do you want to be this one and everything? Do you want to be this little voice?
Who is it? Is this like an old guy?
No, this is pretty much Zelda, actually.
Okay. Help me. Please, help me. I am the person on the dungeon of the castle. My name is Zelda. The wizard, Acne, has done something to the other missing girls. Not only I remain. Acne has seized control of the castle and is now trying to open the seven wise men's seal. I am in the dungeon of the castle. Please help me.
Alright, I'll be him. DR, I'm going out for a while. I'll be back by morning. Don't leave the house.
You bet your ass Theodore Roosevelt's not going to do that.
Yeah, pretty much with Theodore Roosevelt, you don't tell him what to do. You tell him what to do, he's going to do the exact opposite of this. So, pretty much, yes. Welcome to our little short gameplay, or at least like a short little intro of gameplay of A Link to the Past. Pretty much as of right now, as you can see, we have no items. We got no sword, we got no shield. We're just like walking around defenseless and everything. But we do have some treasure. We do have a treasure chest right here. Walk up to the treasure chest and press A. And we get our pretty much we literally get our first item in this game ever, the lamp. Now pretty much we can light torches and see your way in the darkness. However, what's interesting about this game and everything is that there are going to be some items to where we cannot use as of yet. And what I mean by this is that, well, first, if you go to the start menu, pretty much from now on, all of your items, like if you want to use your items, you have to press the Y button. And pretty much similarly to how it is in like the first Legend of Zelda game in the NES, for any additional items that we do get and everything, if you want to switch items, all you gotta do is just toggle around your D-pad, pick whichever item you want, and pretty much the item, and then pretty much you can use that item for like however long you want to use. Now turn to the A button. Yeah, as you can see right here. For the A button, we can do these following things. We can lift, we can read, we can read signs and everything, talk to other people, or pretty much pull on stuff. Now let's see what happens when we press the Y button to try to use this lantern. You're short on magic power. You can't use this item now. Watch your magic meter. So yeah, pretty much the magic meter from Zelda 2 has made its return in A Link to the Past and everything. That little meter that you see right over there, it is empty. So, yes, pretty much there are going to be some items and everything to where, like, you need to make sure that your magic meter is full enough for you to use said item. If it's not full enough, then pretty much you cannot use the item at all. And pretty much this is Zelda again.
Alright, help me! I am in the dungeon of the castle! I know there is a hidden path from the outside of the castle to the garden inside.
Yes, and pretty much we'll explore that a little later. Now, another thing that you can also do in Link to the Past, that's going to be a staple in The Legend of Zelda, you can now pick up shit and such. Basically at first, you can only pick up stuff like jars, but pretty much you can pick them up, hold them on over to your head. Okay, so, alright, so you can, like, bring them outside and everything. So, pretty much if you want to drop them, just press the A and throw them. Alright, so let's go out here real quick. And pretty much, like I said, we are defenseless and everything, so we cannot do too many stuff, but we can talk to these guards right here, and they'll give us, like, some of these guards will actually, these guards are basically acting as, like, tutorials and such, basically giving you an idea of, like, basically the main control of the game and everything, and what each of the buttons are usually used for and such. What are you doing up this late, kid? You can stay up when you're grown up. Now go home. You can't tell me what to do and everything. I'm Theodore Roosevelt. I see you brought a map, so you don't get lost. Press the X button to see your map. Yes, alright. So pretty much new to The Legend of Zelda, we have a brand new overworld map and everything. Basically in this game and everything. As he said, if we press X, here's your map.
I only have one thing to say about. I have one thing to say about this, actually.
Go ahead.
About freaking time.
Yes. Yeah, so pretty much, like, unlike what it was in the first Legend of Zelda for the NES and everything, where it was just basically a big, like, you know, gray map and everything with you represented by a dot. No, this is pretty much like, a huge upgrade compared to what we had in the NES, where basically now you can actually see, like, basically the landmarks on each of the world and everything, and not only can you see the landmarks, but you can also see where you're at versus, like, basically whatever place you need to get to next and everything as marked by that X. So you can see right here, this is basically where we need to go to next, and this is where we are right now and everything, so, as of right now, we are not too far of getting into the castle and everything, so we should be getting there, we should be there as soon as possible. And another nice thing about this map is that, like, you know, if you feel like, you know, you want a bit more of a, you know, broader scope of, like, basically, like, you know, the size of the map, well, there you go. Just press the X button again, and pretty much you can just see the whole map, just like this, actually. So, alright, so pretty much that's one upgrade featured in A Link to the Past. Let's see. You look strong, kid. How much can you lift? Press the A button while touching the thing to lift it. And yeah, pretty much I already, like, explained that with the pot. Basically, not only pots, but you can also pick up the shrub and pretty much also toss it as well. Just the only thing you cannot pick up as of yet is basically the stones and such. Those are the only things you cannot pick up as of yet. And if you talk to this guy, I bet you can't wait till you're old enough to use a sword. Press the B button to use the sword when you get it. Thank you, kind sir. I'll make sure to do just that. Alright, so basically that's all, like, most of the tutorials we can explain. One thing I will try to do in this Zelda game, or at least in terms of this playthrough, I will also try to read as many signs as I can, talk to as many people as I can as well, too. But fair warning and everything, like, it is possible that I might, like, skip some signs, either by accident and everything, or pretty much I might just skip it because, like, it's not really all that important to read and everything, but, yeah, here's one. Go ahead, you can read this one.
I will give 100 rupees to the man who finds the descendants of the wise men, the king.
Ah, alright, well, alright. Well, you don't have to give me 100 rupees. I'll save my fellow, like, whatever this place is called anyway. I'll save them. Hey, you're not allowed in the castle, son. Go home and get some sleep. Alright, so yeah, we cannot get into the castle, at least, like, not in a normal way. But if you remember what Zelda told us, like, I'm guessing through, like, telepathically or something, there is a secret in the garden to where, like, we can actually get into the castle that way. And, gee, I wonder where the secret, you know, passage is. Let's see, is it in this bush? No, not that bush. Is it in this bush? Nah. What about this bush? No, but hey, we found a rupee and such, so... Alright, so yeah, pretty much, like, the same thing as it was in, like... actually, no, this is the first time, actually. So, this is not the first time in, like, in the Legend of Zelda series, where pretty much, like... depending on the bush that you pick up, sometimes you'll get good things to happen, either be, like... a little hard for your heart container, which, as you can see, we start off with 3 lives. And pretty much, like, yeah, you can also find, like, some rupees, usually like a green rupee that gives you, like, 1 rupee and everything. Although you have to be careful, because there are some other bushes and such to where, like, enemies might hide in them, and you also might come across a bee as well, too. So pretty much it's just one of those where it's just like, you know, if you want to take a chance and try to get a bush just so you can get a heart or a ruby, be my guess. However, I will say there are much more better ways to get, like, both of those items without, like, you just going around, like, picking up bushes and such willy-nilly. So, pretty much like I said, I'll make sure to show off as many secrets as I can. But until then, let's pick up this bush, and here we are, the secret passage.
B1.
Oh, what has happened to you, sir? Theodore, I didn't want you to get involved in this. I told you not to leave the house. Take my sword and shield, and this... actually, no, like, this... never mind. And listen. You can focus power in the blade, hold the B button, then release it using the secret technique handed down by our people.
To make this work, I think this will have to take place after his presidency, because you know, because remember, he went on an expedition after he lost that 1912 election, and he almost died in that expedition. So.
Alright, okay then, so pretty much like, okay, so pretty much if Nintendo can make up, like, their own confusing, like, Zelda timeline and everything, we can make up our own confusing timeline with these presidents, so, yeah, let's just say that, like, you know, this take place, like, a couple months, after, like, Theodore lost the, 1912 election and such.
Well, which actually, like I said, historically, he did lose that election, and then he went to South America for an expedition, and he almost died there, so.
He did, yes. Theodore, you can do it. Save the princess. Zelda is your... And then that's it. She's my what? Cousin? Sister? Best friend? Who is even the Zelda? Like, I don't even know who the Zelda is and everything. That's kind of a weird name if you ask me. Alright, here's our first enemy in this game. Kind of like Darkness, but not really. So, basically, like, yeah, the trick with these guys is that, like, you can still attack them in the front and everything. Just try to make sure that, like, you know, you're not attacking them from your shield and everything, because if you're attacking them from the shield and everything, or at least, like, you're not attacking them by their sword. If you're attacking them by the sword, then your attack will not land. But if you are attacking them anywhere else, then pretty much it'll only take about, like, 2 hits to kill them with a regular, like, with a regular swing. And yeah, as you can see and everything, pretty much is the first Zelda game where it's like, instead of you, like, pretty much thrusting your sword and everything, you can now actually swing it and such. So pretty much, yeah, from here on out, like, Link pretty much will go ahead and swing the sword. Pretty much, yeah, he'll be swinging the sword from here on out instead of just thrusting it and such. And pretty much right here, we can get a little idea about, like, what the torch is used for, so... Let's go ahead and light this one right here, and there you go, we got a little bit of light. And these small green balls right here, these are actually important to fill up your magic meter whenever you need it. And our first entrance of blue rupees, so pretty much blue rupees are pretty much worth 5 regular rupees each. So now we got all that out of the way, let's go ahead and tackle on our very first somewhat dungeon and such, this castle. And yes, pretty much, I'll go ahead and show this off, because I think there are some enemies. Yeah, there are some enemies coming up soon. Alright, so remember what our uncle was saying about, like, using a sword and everything as a special power? Well, if you hold down the B button, your sword is a bit charged up. And while your sword is charged up, you can walk backwards a little bit. You can still walk around and everything until you're ready to let go of the B button. Once you let go of the B button, there you go. You can do, pretty much you can perform a...
Okay, that's cool. Okay, that's cool.
Pretty much like, yeah, you can perform what is known as a spin attack and such with your sword. And as you can see right here, doing the spin attack actually dealt a lot more damage with the enemy, as opposed to just pretty much like, yeah, pretty much as opposed to just, yeah, that's okay, I got the heart. But yeah, pretty much you can see, like, yeah, doing this spin attack, pretty much like dealt a lot more damage to the green soldiers and everything than compared to you just like slashing them and such. Now I will say right here and everything, like, it is possible I might forget like the spin attack once in a while and everything, so pretty much for the most part I will just be using the swing attack and everything, but for any moments that I will actually like show off like the spin attack, I'll make sure to do just that. And yes, as you can see right here, there are going to be some dungeons and everything to where you can actually go outside the dungeon and everything. And this will actually come in handy because there are some dungeons and everything to where you actually do need to go outside the dungeon. You actually do need to go outside the dungeon for a little bit in order to make some progression and such. But in this case, we cannot make progression to this one because, as you can see, there's a little bit of a electricity blocking the door. And if we touch it, yeah, we get zapped. So we'll come back to there much, much later. And actually in a little bit new to Legend of Zelda as well too. You see these ledges right here. Anytime you see a legend like that, you get to hop down and such. So pretty much it makes for like a quick, sometimes it does make for a very quick way to like, getting out, pretty much getting out of the way as fast as you can. Give me that heart.
And I definitely noticed that hearts are definitely much more generous compared to the
yeah, so hearts are a little bit more generous to get and everything. Again, just pretty much like, all depends on everything on like the enemies themselves, but yeah, there are some moments where like the enemies will drop out some either rupees or hearts. Actually, you can also find hearts in these pots right here. So I'll go ahead and show one off after I take care of this blue soldier. Yeah, now with the blue soldier and everything, like even with the spin attack, it will take about like another extra hit to kill him, but it's still not all too bad. So yeah, so there you go. There's another heart for you to get right there.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And there we go. Alright, now for this part, all we're going to want to do is just head on downstairs. And pretty much, alright, so pretty much like how it was in the first Legend of Zelda game and everything. For this Zelda game right here, I'm going to try my best to get everything that the dungeon has to offer. That includes, like, you know, the compass, the map, as well as, like, you know, today's dungeon item. Now, for this one, we actually do have a map right here and such. So you can use it to see your current position and the rest of the dungeon. So just like in the overworld, if you want to see where you are in a dungeon, just press X, and there you go. So pretty much.
Are you using a controller this time?
Yes, I am using. Yes, I am using a controller to this one to pretty much like match up like close enough to like how it would be if you were playing this game with an actual Super Nintendo controller.
Okay.
Yeah. But pretty much, as you can see right here, like, yeah, so pretty much, these are what the maps are gonna look like for each dungeons. You got, like, the basement floors, and you got, like, the first floors as well, too. So, as you can see, like, this is how much area we have left within the first basement floor in of itself and everything. I will also try my best to show off every single room, like, each dungeon has to offer, but again, it's not gonna be a 100% promise and such. So, pretty much at least for, this... Oh, alright, and another thing you can actually do... Watch this. You can also put... take that, man. Yeah. Alright. So, yeah, pretty much you can also... you can also push enemies off the ledges as well, too. Now, mind you, like, that enemy will come back, like, sooner or later and everything, so just keep that in mind. But pretty much, like, yeah, there's certain enemies to where, like, you know you don't want to deal with right now, just push them off the edge. And another thing you can also, and another way you can kill certain enemies, make sure I line up just right. Yeah, you can, pretty much you can also throw things at them, and pretty much that's another way you can deal damage to them.
Okay, I love that you can actually push them to the edge and they fall down. That's pretty cute. That's pretty cool.
It is. Pretty much it is very, very cool. There we go. And there we go. Alright, now interestingly enough, this is the only dungeon to where, like, there is actually no compass and such. It's actually just, like, the map and the dungeon item, that's it. And
I mean, looking at the shape of it, it definitely feels like a tutorial dungeon, so...
It does, yeah. And pretty much, alright, so pretty much here we get our first dungeon item in the game. The Boomerang! It makes its return right here into this game. So pretty much, just like how the Boomerang acted in the first Legend of Zelda game, pretty much all you gotta do is just, pretty much, like, yeah, once you throw it, it will stun enemies, and also, like, pick up items that, like, enemies will drop as well, too. And luckily the boomerang is one of the items to where, like, you do not need to worry about, like, having enough magic to use it. You can just use it whenever you want to use it. Okay. And now if we head on down to the second basement, we'll go on over to the third basement. And here we got our first boss battle right here. Honestly, this guy is not really all too bad. Like, it's kind of like a horse head, and that, like, pretty much all you gotta do is just...
you actually took everything I was gonna say. He does remind me of Horsehead from Zelda 2, actually.
He does, yeah. Like, pretty much like, yeah, much like a horse head. Like, pretty much a mix of, like, a horse head and, like, the Goomba boss in the Ocean Palace as well, too. Where pretty much both of them have, like, you know... their mace as well. Both of them have their mace, and all you have to do pretty much is just, like, you know, try not to get hit with the mace and everything, and pretty much you'll be good to attack him. And the big key. Alright, so unlike, alright. So one thing I should mention about in A Link to the Past is that, like, unlike in Zelda 2 and the original Legend of Zelda game, you cannot use keys for other dungeons and such. So pretty much, like, say that, you do have an extra key on you from, like, a previous dungeon and everything. You cannot use that key for, pretty much that key is only meant to unlock doors from that specific palace. You cannot use that key to unlock any other palaces outside of, like, whichever palace you found that key in.
Okay, so it only works on the palace you're in.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, and pretty much, like, yeah, that will become a staple in the Legend of Zelda series from here on out and such, starting with this one. But luckily, like, pretty much, like, the game has it to where, like, there are just enough keys for you to, like, unlock every single door that you need to unlock in, like, the dungeon and everything. So you don't have to worry about, like, you know, having an extra key on you when, like, you know, you probably didn't meant to do that, or maybe that, like, you know, you probably did it on purpose just to see, like, if it will work out. But pretty much, like, yeah, each dungeon will also have the big key, as it sees right here. This is the master key of this dungeon in particular. And basically, with the big keys, you can use this to, like, enter into a boss room, as well as opening up the big chest, in which, like, yeah, the big chest is the chest to where, like, you know, that specific dungeon item is located inside. So pretty much, like, yeah, make sure you keep a good eye out for the big key, and sooner or later, you'll get your dungeon item. But for this one, we want to unlock the door and unlock Zelda, but before we do that, let's grab ourselves a heart. Alright, and get ready. Alright, go ahead, Bonnie, this is you.
Thank you, TR. I had a feeling you were getting close. Theodore, listen carefully. The wizard is magically controlling all the soldiers in the castle.
Oh, wow. Wow, that sounds very serious, young lady. Tell me more.
I fear the worst for my father. The wizard is an inhuman fiend.
Go ahead.
The wizard, with strong magical powers. Do you understand?
Nah, actually, not at all. What the hell are you talking about with magic? Magic does not exist, young lady. Okay, but pretty much in all fairness and everything, actually, okay, I'll show you once about what happens when you say not at all. And pretty much you just repeat the same thing and such.
Okay, so basically it doesn't affect... Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just there to where, like, pretty much it's just there to, like, I pretty much try to make sure that, like, you know, it catches any, like, you know, confuse your players up to speed about what's going on and such, which, in this case, like, it probably is helping and such, and maybe it's not, we don't know, but... Yeah, pretty much for anytime you get this option, just say yes. Always say yes.
Alright, well let's get out of here before the wizard notices. I know a secret path, but first we have to go to the first floor. Let's go!
Alright, don't worry, my lady. I'll kindly show you to where the first floor is.